Angels is a new action movie that is directed by Elizabeth Banks, and it serves as a sequel? A reboot? A sequel? On one hand, it does kind of reference the older Charlie's Angels movies. In case you didn't know, Charlie's Angels was a little mini action franchise that had Drew Barrymore and Lucy Liu and the other one. And then it came out a long time ago. I know it was Cameron Diaz. Don't get your tits in a twist. I was just joking. Those movies came out a while ago, and this movie sort of references them, kind of. Like, it calls back to them. In time, this movie feels so divorced from what those movies were. Completely new characters, completely new setup. It doesn't feel right to call it a sequel when it's so different. In that sense, it feels like maybe it's a reboot for a new generation. It's a sequel. Or a requel, or however you want to say it. I like sequel. Sequel sounds better. It sounds more iconic. This film stars Elizabeth Banks and is also written by her and directed by her. It also stars Kirsten Stewart, stars Naomi Scott, stars Patrick Stewart, and it stars some other chick who's the other member of the Charlie's Angels that I can't remember her name, but I will talk about her soon. So the story here is that Naomi Scott is basically a whistleblower for this company that's developing this new piece of technology that could serve to bring energy to the world, but it's also like got a really dangerous flaw. Because of this flaw, a lot of bad people want this technology because they want to, put it to wrong use. So Naomi Scott has to go to the Angels, and she kind of gets recruited by them. Now the Angels have to work against the clock to try to stop the wrong people from getting their hands on this technology. Angels have to save the world, and they have to look damn good doing it. I gotta be honest, when I first walked out of this movie, the struggle was real. I was really straining to try to find something that I appreciated about this movie. Obviously, this was such an anticipated movie. Obviously, everybody and their mama wanted another Charlie's Angels movie. Sure, in the deep recesses of Twitter, there was some kind of petition somewhere about, hey, let's bring back Charlie's Angels. Let's make a sequel. This is the sequel that everybody wants to see. I feel like I should break this down via character because let's focus on the Angels. Obviously, they're the reason why you're here. You're not here for the plot or for anything else, really. So if I separate each of the Angels, each of them brought something to the table that I appreciated. For one thing, they all had terrific chemistry. They all fit well together. They all seem like they have fun working together. I feel like that's a good thing for this movie. I separate the Angels into individual characters. You have the one character who's the tall black chick. I think she's new because I haven't seen her in anything. Oh, I don't remember her name. She's kind of like the Cameron Diaz of this review, I guess. Again, chill. I remember Cameron Diaz. I'm not shading. Okay, it's a little bit of shade. The point is, she's tall and she's like the most mission ready of the characters, and I like that about her. She was kind of no nonsense. She was to the point, and she's black and she has a British accent, so that immediately makes her the hottest woman in the movie. Naomi Scott is probably the best actress of the three. Like, she's definitely the best actress. She's actually giving one of the best performances in the entire movie. Naomi Scott also has a chance to be the hottest woman in this movie as well, but I feel like, okay, she's sexy, but the black woman with the accent, you guys know that's a fetish with me. I have to give her the edge. Kirsten Stewart obviously is somewhat attractive in this movie, but I feel like her character, I actually like her character the most. Her character is the most quirky and self-aware, and she was kind of funny, even though she wasn't given the best material to work with. Also some cameos that you might appreciate, and the music is not bad, the soundtrack at least. Why did this movie happen? What was the point of all this? Why did I sit through that? Why am I talking about it now? I think I've settled on what the biggest problem with her is. The biggest problem with Elizabeth Banks as a director is that Elizabeth Banks is not a very good director. I think that's my issue with her. Seriously, the direction in this movie is one of the biggest problems I have with it. Everything about this movie from a directing standpoint, camera work, cinematography, everything is just so bland and uninspired. Everything about this movie feels like it was made for TV, and it feels like it could have been directed by anybody. Like, that's the biggest problem with her direction, is that she doesn't leave her stamp on it. No sense of style or visual technique to this movie. Everything is just kind of run-of-the-mill. Everything is generic as fuck. Direction also affects the action scenes, which to me are very amateurish in this movie. The action scenes in this movie are so standard issue cookie cutter type action scenes. Like, these are the type of action scenes that are like the bare minimum of action scenes. Nothing impressive about them. There's no visual flair. There's nothing about the way that they're shot or helmed that makes me think, oh yeah, these are some really good action scenes. In particular, the hand-to-hand stuff was really disappointing. There were a lot of cuts, and you could tell there were like obvious stunt doubles, terrible choreography that they were trying to cover up. What about the script? That's bad too. The screenplay, that's even worse. Same Charlie's Angels movie and story that you have seen before, so you're not going to get anything new, innovative, creative, or fresh. The story is extremely predictable, kind of boring, a little bit too much exposition, and a lot of really uninspiring, boring villains to go along with it. Sure, you could turn your brain off for a couple of hours and watch 3 attractive women doing stuff, but if you're looking for more than that, I feel like you're going to be disappointed. Charlie's Angels is the definition of a bad movie with some good things about it. It's a guilty pleasure, and I'm going to leave this one in Smallville. I feel like the little girls and the teenagers and some of the young women in the world will appreciate this movie. This movie absolutely will have an audience for them, but for me personally, it just didn't really do it for me. Stay tuned, guys. I have a lot more videos coming to the channel, including Ford v Ferrari. I should have that ready in the next day or so. Please like and subscribe to the Superfan Show, and as always, if you like what you see, tell me how you feel, and stay tuned to hear more from the Man of Steel. Peace.